Greek members of Greek culture. As I read the thoughts of Epictetus to my class in art history, you know, naturally the lights were low because we were showing slides and great art and everything. But we had come to the conclusion of showing the slides, and I said, I just want to read to you now. You have to understand where Greek civilization was at the time this art was produced. And the best thoughts, you know, were men like Epictetus, who founded Stoicism under the stoa, the shelter against the sun, the covered sidewalks of ancient Greek cities. When I read those thoughts, I heard people crying, muffled sobs as they, you know, put a handkerchief to their face and everything. I said, are people crying in this room? Yeah, I looked over at my notes, and sure enough, they were. Yeah. These were 18, 19, and 20 years old. They were overwhelmed by the truth of his words. Yeah. The truth, and he wasn't even a Christian yet. How could he be? Christ had not come. I stressed this to them, you know. And every time I did things like this, reading the thoughts of the great men of the times, and then I'd show the art in the slides, and I'd say, now you turn to page 114, and you'll see this same beautiful object pictured there. Yeah. And here you can see it in full color. You know, not all the pictures in our art history text were in color. So the slides, you know, brought that out. I said, people greatly underestimate the youth. The youth are very sensitive, and they're very intelligent, and they're very capable when exposed with true greatness to appreciate and understand it. I'm sure as you, as a professor, you have discovered this, you know, in your education. You mentioned you had a degree in education, and I'm sure you became very aware of that, or maybe you knew it intuitively before that. But that's why it's so outrageous that this culture mucks around and lets this stuff go on with abortion and all this. Haven't we something better to give our children? I mean, where is the shining beacon that the church should be? There should be vigorous sermons. My husband's been researching St. Gregory Nazianzen.
I was doing
St. Gregory Nazianzen and all the great Eastern.
St.
Basil.
Basil the Great.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I found
St. Gregory of Nyssa. You know,
I found St. we can Cappadocia a long time ago.
Oh, we climbed through Cappadocia. Okay. You had to climb on these little spider ladders, you know, up several levels, you know, to these little chapels that they carved out.
That's where they have these
beautiful little chapels.
I don't know what you call those hills or little mound things.
Yeah. We have also what I do because of the I try to she corrected my English because English is not my thing.
Well, no, he's pretty good.
Stop apologizing, Frank. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a punctuation he has a problem.
I have first thing. Anyway, I wrote a nice article about St. Gregory Nyssa. Yeah. They are beautiful, but I had to have from a priest. You know, I don't put anything put on a shelf unless he may say, which he always does, but nevertheless, I never want to bypassing. Before I wrote about St. Mark, St. Mark, which from Venice, he put remain was brought to Cappadocia, the one of the couplet church. It used to be a St. Mark. Yeah, in those days. But in the, they had to hide on the pork belly, because of Muslim. So I brought some story like this. The same I wrote about Bagatine, Cyprus. Okay, she wrote an article that the Battle of Lepanto. We gave to an engineer many years ago.
I read in the paper the other day a quotation from some Muslim hero of their culture. You know, he said, "What we lost at the Battle of Lepanto, which we just discussed briefly before your talk, we are gaining by attrition in Europe." In other words, there's so many of us, and we have 22 kids at least per family, and the Western people aren't even reproducing themselves.
Drink something.
So it's just an aforesaid
I have to drink something.
statement that
That's the reason.
The game is ours.
That's right, yeah.
That's the reason.
I'm just outraged and appalled. I cannot, and one thing I discovered in the International Club here in Bowie, I've been a member of that for about, 10 years, which is a very nice organization, is that the Protestants, we have some German Protestants members, but, a lot of them are from Europe, are totally ignorant because they have not included Catholic history, real Catholic history, and his role in the things like the Battle of Lepanto, the Pope's greatness and what he did, so that they don't understand a statement that a Muslim would make, what we lost at the Battle of Lepanto, we are winning by attrition. She has chosen as her closest friend in the club, I just made this silent observe, people are free to choose whoever they want as a friend. But she chose the only Muslim in the organization, see.
Yeah.
And I said, now, I puzzled that. I said, now she thinks she's a Lutheran. I'm sure she attends the Lutheran church. She talks about it and, blah, blah, blah. Her daughter is a Lutheran and so forth. And I said, what is missing here? Why would she go out of her way to spend so much time with this Muslim lady? What do they have in common? The Muslim lady, incidentally, is a very nice woman. I like her. She does very good work and everything in the club. But I said, because the other one lacks real background in Christian truth in its fullness. See,
yeah.
She has some of it, but she doesn't have the whole picture. So she's groping around, Like she asked me what I thought of her daughter's involvement with this character who didn't seem to have any religion, and the mother was so upset over some of his behavior and even her daughter's behavior and so forth. And I just kind of shrugged and listened to this, and then she answered her own questions in her own way. Oh, well, everything's all right now because she's married a physician who's a surgeon and blah, blah. I thought, well, what's that got to do with anything? But I mean, you see, the confusion in these people's minds.
Yeah.
But see, what the sadness is that the Catholic Church today, in its weakened post-Vatican condition, post-Vatican II condition, does not clarify a lot of things. I know that it's tough in a culture like ours, but now the culture in its decayed condition has kind of seized the energy.
Yeah.
See, and the Catholics are pulled along in all this error. See?
The hierarchy has apologized for the Crusades, and I'm waiting for them to apologize for the Battle of Lepanto. Or so. Yeah, that'll be next, I think.
There used to be a man in this club, I'm sure if he still had the time, he'd still be coming, but he was a Croatian, and his father taught the catechism to his 5 sons at home, because he did not trust in Croatia that they would get the full story somehow.
Yeah.
He said, no, we're going to do it right here in the house, and I'm going to be the teacher because I don't want these people, because of the presence of Muslims all around them, creating, see, wherever you have this terrible condition where you have to be on your toes every second just to stay alive, and it's a difference in the religion that is causing all the tension. Probably it produces heroes like his father. I knew that marvelous man. I met him in a Catholic con.
We have to clean this thing.
Yes, you can start
Okay,
if you want to.
we're